If you're watching this video, consider yourself lucky because I'm about to show you a highly effective scalping strategy that will generate you insane profits. This strategy works perfectly well on crypto, stocks, and forex. I'm also going to backtest it 100 times with an initial account size set at $1,000 to prove how well this strategy performs in different market conditions. Okay, so we're currently looking at Ethereum 15-minute chart, and now let's go ahead and add our indicators. So for our first indicator, we're going to use QQE mod. This one right here. For our second indicator, we're going to use SSL hybrid. And finally, for our volume indicator, we're going to use water retard explosion. Okay, so we see the chart looks extremely messy. So in order to fix that, we're going to adjust these indicators one by one. So let's first double click on this SSL hybrid indicator and adjust the style. Now let's do some slight adjustments to our QQE mod. So first of all, we're going to change the arrow size moving from 5 to 6. And also let's get rid of this level. And lastly, let's change the settings on our volume indicator. So we're going to change the sensitivity from 150 to 180. Also, we're going to get rid of this dead zone. And we're going to change the color for this explosion line. Okay, the system is ready. Now let's get into our trading rules. Okay, so the main idea behind this strategy is to confirm the direction of the price first and then get us into the trend at the best price possible. We're going to be using QQE mod indicator as our first confirmation indicator, and the rest of our indicators will help us filter bad signals. So for a long signal to be valid, we first need to have a blue histogram appeared on our QQE mod indicator. This SSL line has to be colored in blue, and the price has to be sitting above this line. And lastly, we need to have sufficient bullish volume in the market, so our water retard explosion histogram has to be colored in green, and it has to break above this yellow moving average. And as soon as we have all these three conditions met, we're going to go ahead and take a long position, set our stop loss at the recent swing low, and if the price moves in our favor and we're running a profitable trade, we're going to exit the position as soon as we have a red arrow appeared on our chart. So let me now show you an example. Okay, so we just had a red arrow, but this exit signal is not valid because we are running in loss. Now we can see a valid exit signal that happened right on this candlestick. Okay, so we see our risk to reward ratio is 3, and since we're risking 2% of our account per each trade, on this particular trade we could have made 6% profit. Exactly opposite rules apply when entering short trades, so first we need to have a bearish red histogram appeared on our QQE mod indicator. The price has to be sitting below this SSL line, and the line has to be colored in red. Also, we need to have sufficient bearish volume, so this water retard histogram has to be colored in red, and it has to be above this moving average. We see all our indicators confirming a bearish direction of the price. So now let's go ahead and take a short position, set our stop loss at the recent swing high, and exit a profitable trade as soon as we have a blue arrow appeared on our chart. Okay, so we just had a valid exit signal that was issued on this candlestick right here, and we see our risk to reward ratio is 1.46. And again, since we're risking 2% of our account per each trade, on this particular trade we could have made 2.92% profit. Okay guys, let me give you some more examples so you have a better understanding of how to trade with this system. So we see we just had a valid bearish signal from our QQE mod, and the rest of our indicators confirming a signal. So let's go ahead and take a short position and set our stop loss at the recent swing high. Okay, so we just had a signal, this blue arrow, to exit the trade, but this signal is not valid because we're running in loss. Okay, this is where we had a valid signal right on this candlestick. Okay, we see our risk to reward ratio on this particular trade was 1.09, and we could have made 2.18% profit. Now let's move on and find some more signals. Okay, we just had a new short signal from our QQE mod indicator. We see the histogram turned red, We also see the price closed below this line, and the line is red as well. And we have sufficient bearish volume in the market. So let's go ahead and take another short position and set our stop loss at the recent swing high. We see we just had an exit signal on this candlestick and we collected our small profits. Okay, we have a new short signal from our QQE mod indicator, but this signal is not valid because it's not confirmed by the rest of our indicators. Okay, so now we have a bullish signal and this signal is confirmed. So let's go ahead and take a long position and set our stop loss at the recent swing low. So we see this red arrow appeared in our chart indicating that we should exit this trade, but this exit signal is not valid since this trade is not profitable. We see we had another exit signal that is not valid either. Okay, so we finally had a valid exit signal. We see our risk to reward ratio is 0.6, and since we're risking 2% of our account per trade, on this particular trade we could have made 1.2% profit. Now let me give you an example where you could have made a lot of money on a single trade. We see all our indicators confirming a bearish signal. So let's take a short position, set our stop loss at the recent swing high, and see how well this trade performs. Okay, so we just had a valid exit signal, and now let's check the risk to reward ratio. Okay, so we see our ratio is 5-to-1, and since we're risking 2% of our account per trade, here we could have made 10% profit. Okay, so now you have a full understanding of how to trade with this system, so let's actually backtest it 100 times and compare the results to some other systems we've already got on our channel. Okay, so I just finished my backtesting and I found those 100 setups within 45 days. We see our win rate is 69%, which is incredibly high, and I think it's the highest one we've ever had on this channel so far. We also increased our account size by 128.07%, which is a really good growth as well. The equity curve looks consistent, we didn't have any massive drawdowns, but be ready for consolidations like that when the market is moving sideways and you're not catching any big wins. Our profit factor is 2.41 and we had 8 consecutive wins against 3 consecutive losses. Also, our largest profit was 17%, which is absolutely amazing. And if you give yourself chances like that to increase your account size by 17% per trade, your account will literally explode. Okay, so just like I said, in terms of win rate, this strategy is on the first place. So I highly recommend this strategy. Go ahead and backtest it and forward test it on different markets and different time frames to see how well it performs. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed these videos I'm putting out for free, and the only thing I'm asking for in return is to spend 2 seconds of your time and like this video, because it really helps with the algorithm. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, then feel free to subscribe to this channel.